just launched from Makeup Revolution a brand new skin loving serum foundation. When they said radiance and skin like, I thought, oh, talking my language. Let me get on my face and see what it's about. This was sent in PR and there was no obligation for me to show this, nothing like that. However, when it said silk skin, I thought, wow, it'd be rude of me not to. So let's run through the 3 shades that we have. Hopefully one of them matches me. I'm glad that they sent 3 shades because sometimes when I see PR packages and they've sent like 24 shades to someone, I think that's really wasteful. As much as it's great if you are a makeup artist and you're doing freelance, if they send it to someone who does, you know, bridal makeup or stuff like that, fair enough. They will put to use all those shades. But if there's someone who uses it to create content, 3 shades is way better than sending them like 24 shades. Straight away, it's a glass bottle, plastic pump, and it feels great. Like, it actually feels really high end, kind of giving like Kylie cosmetic vibes. Shade 7, shade 8 and shade 8.5. I'm kind of toying between these 2 shades here. As you can see, the one in the middle is way too pink for me. I'm just going to take a little bit of the 8.5 and I'm just going to pop that onto my cheek, and then I'm going to take a little bit of the 7 and pop that onto my other cheek. Although this is 8.5 and this is 7, I just feel like this one is way too light, but if that was a tiny bit darker, I think that would have been such a good match. I'm going to do one side of my face with a brush just to see how it packs on, and then I'm going to do the other side with a damp beauty sponge. I'm going to do a little bit half and half. I'm going to start off with a beauty blender side. I put some onto the back of my hand. As you can see, I've got a nice little friend on my face, so let's see if that covers it up. Now this is available in 20 shades and it retails for $10.99. Straight away that has covered my under eye bag pretty good. That is definitely giving serum vibes. I feel like on camera, because it isn't my perfect shade, it's not looking the greatest. But this one didn't look as light as the other one. The other one looked like it was going to be even lighter than this on my face. We're going to just have to keep pushing through it and look at the overall result when I have bronzer and stuff on. Because that's the thing, if your foundation is too light, you can always just bronze up your skin. But the actual product on the skin, especially with a beauty sponge, is so light feeling, and it really does have a nice serum sort of vibe. You can still see the discoloration coming through my under eyes. You can still see this little spot here. Super, super light coverage with the beauty sponge. Now let's try the makeup brush. I bought this one off a TikTok shop. This is by Peaches and Cream and it is the chisel brush. Love it for bronzer, love it for cream products, love it for liquid products, love it for your foundation. I don't know if you know, but I love it. Of course, because we are using a brush, you guys know the deal. It is going to be a lot more full coverage compared to that side. I feel like I'm testing this out at the perfect time because my skin has been a little bit dry recently, so I feel like this is the sort of foundation that I'd be leaning towards right now anyway. Now I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but right here and right up there, this with the brush is actually clinging to a little bit of dryness right in this area. This has hyaluronic acid and a peptide complex, which is meant to give your skin that radiant boost. And when I'm looking in the mirror, I can honestly say, like, yes, my skin does look radiant. I've got my little mirror here so I can really go up close and see like every nook and cranny on my face and every pore. And yeah, I must admit, like, the makeup artist in me just wants to go in on the brush side, and I just want to pat it all in with my beauty sponge just to make it look a bit softer. But that is my personal preference. At this moment in time, like I said, I much prefer to have my canvas blanked out like this. And yes, I still got a spot coming through, discoloration around my under eye, but that's where concealer comes into play in my opinion. This is what we're working with at this moment in time. I am going to go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, and I will just speed that up for you guys so you can see all the products I'm using, and then I'm going to give you a final result at the end, and let's talk a little bit more in depth about this. those rollers come out like. Okay, cool. Anyways, let's talk about the foundation. Now, first impressions, the side with the brush does actually look better. It's laying up the products a lot nicely, and it does look that little bit more full coverage, and it just looks a little bit more flawless. So I'm just gonna have a little look real quick into my mirror up close so I can actually see how this looks and give you a first impression. Definitely feel like this side here, although it has creased more than this side I feel like I can see a tiny bit more of my pores. I really feel like I can see little holes more. This side, I cannot really see that at all. This side definitely is the more natural side, which is obvious because we use the beauty sponge. My personal preference is I do prefer a little bit of a softer look on the skin, because my skin at the moment is a combination, but leaning on the drier side. I feel like when your skin is a little bit drier, your skin tends to absorb a lot of the products. It dries down a lot quicker, and it can look more aging. It can sit in fine lines, pores, and it just looks drier, you know. I feel like a thinner layer is just a little bit more complementing on my skin type at this moment in time. If I am to be a little bit picky right now, I would say the side which has the less amount of product has actually sunken into a laugh line here in this little area more than this side, which is really weird because you think the side that has the most amount of product would obviously have more creasing. There's a line right there which has already started to appear. I do have it slightly on this side, but it actually is a lot more softer than this side. This side looks more softer, more natural. This side looks more higher coverage, more flawless, but then it does look more dry in my opinion. You might not be able to pick that up on camera, but trust me, when I'm looking in the mirror, this side just looks a little bit more drier. I haven't actually powdered my forehead because my skin's a little bit dry, so you can see there's a tiny bit of texture just there and there, and it hasn't clung to it. Claims to have a radiant satin finish, and I'd say yes, you do get that. Light to medium coverage, yep. Hyaluronic acid to help plump and hydrate. I wouldn't say it's plumped my skin at all, but my skin does look hydrated. It doesn't look too dry. It only looked dry once I added my powder, which is understandable. Lightweight, definitely. Like this side especially, this side feels so lightweight. This side I can feel it a bit more, but this side is super lightweight. I'm gonna go make myself some lunch now and make myself a coffee and do some work, so I'll just skip to the next clip a little bit later. Okay, so I've just put my light on, but this is what the foundation looks like in natural lighting. This is the beauty blender side, and this is the brush side. Okay, so I'm in the bathroom right now, and I want to show you guys. Oh wow, actually you can see this, the difference here a bit more. This is it in the bathroom lighting. That's one side, that's the other. You can see the forehead and how it looks on the skin. There's no filters, nothing like that, so you can literally see. Let's go to the next clip now where it's a little bit later and we can see how it is holding up. So I've had this foundation on for 4 hours, okay? My eyelash is actually pinging off on the inner part here and here, and my lips are smudged because I have eaten. Now, one thing I'd like to mention, oh, there's a hair on my eyelash. I did a little test where I pressed the tissue onto my face to see if this transfers. Can you guys see that there is actually some transfer on there? However, this actually looks in person, I think, quite nice. And I even said to you, didn't I? I was like, what do you think of it? And what did you give it, like a 7 or an 8? Yeah. If I zoom you in, you can see around the mouth area, my laugh lines have come in a bit more. Underneath the eyes is definitely creased a bit more than earlier. But overall, for 4 hours in, this is still looking really good. It definitely has a really nice satin look. And the more I looked at it throughout the time of wearing it, the more I was like, oh, this actually looks really nice and soft and quite blurring on the skin. I did actually ask him if he thought one side looked better than the other. And as you were looking at it, you didn't really see a difference on either side, did you?
No, they're the same.
So,
they're different products.
no, it's the same product, but on this side I used the beauty sponge, a damp one, which is a bit more lighter product. Okay. And this side I used a brush that packs it on a bit more. But he was saying that when he looks at it overall, it literally looks the same on both sides. I'm definitely going to go and see if I can get my own shade in this though, because this really wasn't the right shade for me. However, it still allowed me to test out the product and see how it held up. I would say that this product will be much better for someone with dry skin or someone with more mature skin. If you do have mature skin, definitely go in with a damp beauty sponge. That will just give you a nice amount of product on the face without looking too cakey, because as your skin ages, you know, fine lines become more visible, pores, you know, skin elasticity changes. So use a damp beauty blender if you want a really nice soft result, and then just go in with your concealer of choice. It does have a little bit transfer, but when foundations are a little bit more radiant or have that glow, they are more likely to transfer. However, it's been holding up really well, and I actually really like how this looks on my skin. Overall, this feels way more expensive than $10.99. I feel like it looks great on the skin. I am not going to complain that it's got a little bit of transfer and it's creased a bit, because near enough every foundation does that. Your face moves, you know. As I mentioned, I feel like this will be best for dry or mature skin. I feel like you guys will really reap the benefits of this foundation, especially like I said, being serum based, having that hyaluronic acid in there. And that is my first impression of the Makeup Revolution Skin Silk. Let me know what you're thinking. How do you think it applied? What do you think of the results? And what are your first impressions from watching this video on how it looks on the skin? I'll leave my socials on the screen. Make sure you give me a follow over there because I post different content on there, and I'll see all you beautiful bunch very, very soon.